What's going on? What's up, YouTube fam? It's been a minute. Yep. Happy birthday to Lamelo Ball. Shout out, my brother. 2-0. He is the 2-0. He is no longer a teenager. So we can stop calling him a teenager. I mean, he's been playing like a grown man for quite some time. But yeah, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. But yeah, congrats, Lamelo. He has hit the rankings. Be careful, my brother, because it goes like that from there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It is nothing to play with. Anywho, just wanted to come on and just chill and talk for a little bit. Nothing in particular other than wishing Lamelo Ball a happy and prosperous and safe birthday. Lemon ginger water. I will drink to that. This is some of the best stuff you can have, man. I'm telling you. Look, if you have inflammation, anything like that, see that ginger right in there? Right in the bottom right there. Chew on that. Goes away. If you got a headache, if you got an ache or a pain, get some ginger in your life. Not that I have any aches or pains, but it also is preventative too. So I just wanted to just come on here and just basically, I have nothing to talk about. And I was not going to pressure myself other than to say happy birthday to Lamelo Ball. Put a link out if anybody wants to chit chat. Look, chit chat about anything you want. Okay? Shit's going crazy in your life. You just want to chit chat and talk about it. Let's do it. You know? Coach Joe and DJ told me one time that they thought I'd be good at just doing life videos, which is something that, you know, if you haven't picked up from the intro, that's something that Jen and I have been working towards. There's a lot of people out there that want to become vegan, don't have any idea where to start, don't know some of the substitutions that you can put in there to kind of help you make that transition a lot smoother. Like, for instance, Beyond Beef. Okay, a Beyond Burger. I don't miss meat at all. I have not eaten meat in nearly 2 years. Okay, and I don't miss it. With things like Beyond Sausage, Beyond Beef. I mean, come on, you smack one of those things together, throw it on the grill, you feel like you're eating something straight out. It's like a Whopper. I mean, it's really good. There's all kinds of things. Have you ever looked at, I think her name is Tabitha. That sister is hilarious. That's it, that's all, or something like that. That's it, that's right, or that's it, that's all. I love watching her because she's a vegan and she's figured out ways to make all kinds of shit that you can construe as just regular stuff, but it's vegan. It's actually made out of veggies and stuff, but it tastes like the real thing. Like, she makes a spicy tuna roll out of, I think she said carrots. I'm like, what? Come on now. Carrots. So I'm like, oh my God. Look, I've been out on the beach ever since Tux died. I've been out on the beach chilling every day, just kind of, you know, releasing the little bit of the depression I had about my cat dying. For those of you who don't know, Tux, my cat, died, but she died in our home, in the comfort of her surroundings and with her family around her. We did not have her put to sleep. We brought her home and she lived 2 more weeks past that ER visit. And in cat years, dude, that's like a month. But we were determined to make her last days peaceful. Basically, it became like a Tux hospice. And we were determined to make her last days peaceful and just, you know, have her just transform over right here. You know what I mean? And then we took her and we buried her, you know. And the funny thing is, I swear that cat was like a person, man. She 5 minutes before she died, and this was right in the middle. Right in the middle. That's just like you, Tux. That's just like you. But I love you, baby. Right in the and I'm not gonna be boo-hooing because I've kind of cried it out. And yeah, that's been going on for a few weeks. I'm clear now, but now I can look at her fondly, and you never know. I'll probably shed a tear or two at some point, but um, you know, right in the middle of the summer league game with Leangelo, the one where he turned around and made the half court shot. I can't remember exactly what who they were playing because she died right in the middle of that game, and it was so weird because I told Jen, she comes out of the room, and I said, I had a feeling to go over and rub Tux and talk to her. And I said, hey, girl, you fought the good fight. If you need to let go, you need to do what you have to do, sweetie, because I don't like seeing you suffer. You know what I mean? And I was just rubbing her head and rubbing her belly. She let out the faintest, weakest meow. And it was so strange because I went back to watching the game, and all of a sudden it sounded like I heard her snoring. And she was known to snore, okay? She could snore her ass off. And she basically, I guess, passed away when that noise was going on because all of a sudden, and Jen always, says, you see spirits, but I could have sworn I saw her run past me. But it was on the other side of the room. And it startled me, and I looked, and I'm like, and then I looked over at her, and she was as still as a board. And I'm like, oh, wow. Does that mean what I think it means? And Jen came out of the room. I said, do me a favor. Check Tux. You know what I mean? I was just creeped out. I didn't want to go over there. And yeah, she was gone. I think I saw her spirit run past me. So I truly believe that's what happened there. So yeah, she is on the other side. We'll always miss and love her. And yeah, so, but I have been spending a lot of time at the beach, and luckily I made it down there today before the rain started, because the past 2 days I've left the beach and it started raining, but I've gotten some sunshine. And yesterday I literally stared at the sky. It was like overcast when we went down, and I stared at the sky. I'm like, please just show yourself. I just wanted to see the sun, and I'll be damned if it didn't come out. And stayed out the whole time that I sat there, and then went back in when I read that. Hey, I don't know what that means. I don't know. I got a little sun thing here. I don't know. Maybe I got a thing going on with the sun. Jen calls me like the sun goddess because it's like I'll stare into it and it seems like it almost appears to get brighter, And I'm like, look, it looks like the sun's responding to me or something. And I know a lot of you are going to say, okay, this bitch is going crazy now. Cat dies and she thinks she's talking to the sun or some shit. But no, seriously. And then the whole beach thing these past 2 days, and then it's raining when I get in the I'm like, whoa, I'll take it. Okay. Hey, there's worse relationships to have. Okay. But can you guys hear me? Because that music is blasting. Wait a minute, hold up. I like the song 2 songs ago, actually. That was a smooth ass jam. Yeah, that's a good one right there. So I've got my beach background. I've got my little, neon stuff going on here. Anybody ever see the movie Pump Up the Volume? That is the coolest movie. I don't know. Okay, well, I had I had the movie here because I was watching it on my computer the other day. That is one of the greatest movies. It's about this kid, Christian Slater played him back in the 90s. And he just starts this pirate radio station and he builds this huge following illegally. But either way, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. You know what I mean? But that's a really cool movie. If you can ever get a way to check that out, it's called Pump Up the Volume. It's a good movie. Jen, are you hyped up on coffee? If you're watching, she's gotten back into drinking coffee these past few days, and yeah. She's like, it makes me work better. Okay, who is over in the chat? Vegan Knowledge, hi honey. How art thou? I'm gonna have to enlarge this screen. Haven't figured out a way to cure this blindness yet. Coffee. Is the link in the chat? I don't see it. I thought I put it on there. Oh yeah, it is. It's like the first one. Speaking of which, The Power of Now. I have been listening to that audiobook a lot. It's so crazy because living in the moment is not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Because, but it's really the only thing you're doing when you stop and really think about it. When you have all these thoughts of the past or you're projecting, either you're reflecting. Most people are either living in a state where they're reflecting or they're anticipating. They're thinking of things that's going to happen, whether they be good or bad, whatever good or bad is to you. Or they're reflecting on something that's already happened. And, you got to learn how to get yourself present, and enjoy the time that you have. I had a buddy who was talking about the end of days coming because he was talking about the book of Daniel and the book of Revelations and stuff like that. And I have not spoken to this guy in like 10 years, but we were really cool at one point. And I just ran across his Facebook the other day because he's actually the one who gave me Tux. And I wanted to let him know that she had passed on. And I saw where he had this long video where he was going into the book of Daniel and the book of Revelations and the fact that we're being warned, with all these plagues and the climate change and all of that, I guess is what he was getting at, that it's all been written. And, I get it. But at the same time, I don't want to project. I don't want to think about the end of the world happening, Call it denial, call it naiveness, whatever you want to call it, Naiveness, is that a word? But in any event, I want to just live right here, right now. Whatever's happening right now in this moment is all I choose to handle. And if you ever listen to the book, The Power of Now, it teaches you about that. It teaches you how to kind of let go of the thinker, if you will, and just be the watcher. Be the watcher of your thoughts. Don't get caught up so much in your thoughts that you can't get out of your own head. And then you're dragged this way and that way emotionally based on what you're thinking. And the only way, one of the best ways to do that is to just be where you are. If you're washing your hands, feel the water, feel the wetness of the water, smell the scent of the soap, do whatever you need to do to bring yourself present in that moment. Because at the end of the day, that's really all you have. You scare the shit out of yourself thinking about what could happen or what happened before that may have caused you to have fear of something now. You know what I mean? And the best way to alleviate that and to keep yourself at peace is to stay in the moment. That's the best way to escape your thoughts. Start really seeing. Don't just look at what's around you, really see it and really be into what's going on at that moment. Easiest way to get out of your head. Think about it. You can't predict the future. So if you're standing there in the moment and you don't know what's going to happen, why project it? Just live it. And whatever comes to you, take it as it comes. Take it as it comes. Handle it as it comes. Why would you think about it? Let's take the fear of death, as it pertains to what we were just talking about. Most of us, and don't try to bullshit me, most of us have that innate basic fear. Okay. And you can say you don't all you want to, you're full of shit. You're scared as fuck to die. Okay. Everybody's scared to freaking die. Okay. Nobody's, okay, whatever. It's not just something you're just going to run right into. And if you do, or you're okay with that, then you're fucking insane. Okay. But think about it, everything comes from that basic fear. And when you realize or come to the realization that it's inevitable, we are all basically born to transform. You're not going to stay here forever. You're things that, and Amy Egan, shout out to Amy Egan. She gave me one of Jen's friends, and who's become my friend as well. She said, God only loans us the furry ones for a short while. And when you think about it, everything is on loan. Even your body that you're walking around in is on loan. Okay? You don't get to keep that either. But the very essence that makes your body move along this earth and think those thoughts and react the way that you do is what is real and will continue to be a part of the ether once your body has left. Some pretty deep stuff there, but your essence can't be destroyed. you know and this is just the beginning of what I want to get into talking with you guys about probably on a daily basis, because it helps me to stay clear and cleanse. And if I can help anyone out there who may be depressed or who may have issues or just want to get their thoughts out, my link is always open to you. My door is always open. Feel free to jump on here and we can talk about it. And other people can jump on and talk, and we can all help each other out. The more of us that are out there trying to help each other get through this thing called life, as Prince put it, the better. COVID did something when it separated us. Okay. And now we have to work to get back together, because if it is the end, guess what? We're all in that shit together. So we might as well learn to live as one. You know what I mean? Because we are all we've got. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, but I don't know. I feel like the spirit's starting to come through me a little bit, because I'm starting to say some shit that resonates with my heart and things I think about all the time. I do yoga. And the good thing about yoga is you focus on your breathing, and you basically clear your mind and you clear your thoughts. Because I have way too many thoughts going on in my head all day, every day. You know what I mean? And it's not a fun place to be. I have PTSD from the cancer, and it took me 10 years to get over that, I realized. What do we got? I think we got somebody here. Da 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 da. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good now that I'm sitting under that palm tree.
I like my
Nice,
neon palm tree.
nice and
Huh?
shady over here.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something and I was trying to get in and put that avatar on because it never connects my YouTube for some reason. So I like missed if you already talked about this, but I think what I was saying in the chat was that I feel like when I was younger, I was able to live in the now more so than I can now. And I
Mm-hmm.
think because of what they talk about, I think it's on The Secret, but you've said it to me a couple of times. Like your brain is just like a computer; it has files that it stores the memories, and you were just talking about it about previous experiences. And I
Yeah.
think over time, you have so many experiences that you have so much stuff to relate to, like, oh, when this happened before, this is what happened, or I've heard somebody this happen to, so that could happen to me, or I know this is going to happen if this happens. And you get like maybe overly like cynical instead of just going with the flow like you did early
You get
on.
PTSD.
Yeah,
Remember years ago we would see all of those medicine commercials, and I'm like, wow, man, that's it's kind of fucking with my head a little bit. I mean, I think I have some of those symptoms. That's
right.
why they do it, Jen. That's why they do it. They're selling that medicine. And they're putting in your head, hey, have you had itchy skin? Have you had diarrhea? Are you getting headaches? Like, I'm like, shit, I got some of that stuff. Do I have this? It's a game. It's called media manipulation.
You could have just ate too many potato chips and have a pimple, and you look up WebMD, and they will have you thinking you are dying, like literally dying. It's like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, is it a little bit red in the middle? Like, and you're all up in the mirror.
It's crazy.
But
It's
it is
absolutely
really
insane.
why all this stuff has come out. Like we were just talking the other day about the home testing they're starting to do because
Yeah.
they want to, in my opinion, the medical field, although like thank God for them, they save people's lives in situations that no one can even imagine. Like just obviously it's an amazing thing they do, and I'm not trying to knock the medical industry, but most of what goes on is mostly reactionary. It's not preventative. So what they're trying to do is just like a mechanic, get you in there, you know what I'm saying, and say like, do you have this symptom? Ask your doctor if this is right for you. And then you go in and there's a way to get like, like when they say come in for an oil change and they find something wrong with your engine.
Right. Shout out to Macrina Daniels. What's up, my sister?
Hi, Macrina.
Macrina is a day one. She is one of the people that has come on this channel consistently. Even when she's in the middle of something and she's busy, she always finds time to support. Thank you so much, Macrina, for doing that. I really appreciate you stopping by and listening to us for a few minutes.
Thank you. I
We
definitely
are
always do.
Yeah, we started it off by saying happy birthday to Lamelo Ball, but then we kind of got into the life jargon. Life jargon. Hey, Hoop, man. I might have to steal the jargon thing. Dude, life
Hoop is
jargon,
here.
Jen.
He's
No, I
actually
don't
here.
know.
No, he
Is
is.
he?
I saw him. Uh huh.
What?
I saw
What, in
Hoop
the
jargon
chat?
in the chat. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, Hoop. Damn, I didn't even see that. So, see? There you go. But you know what? Hoop jargon, he is somebody who I love his mind. I love the way he thinks because he doesn't do a whole lot of thinking. He lives in the now. You can tell you people who live that way and who think that way recognize those who don't. I mean, recognize those who do because he'll say something like, "Okay, it doesn't." People will take Hoop. I totally get you, dude. People take you the wrong way sometimes when you say you don't care about something or it doesn't affect you. But what you have done is mastered something that a lot of people cannot get their heads around. And that is whether something is right, wrong, good, bad, everything is perception. Everything is what you determine it to be in your world. That does not mean that that means the same thing to somebody else.
But also, he's not afraid to say that, which is what a lot of people do. They just go with the flow and go with the majority. And when he says that, it's going to
It pisses
definitely
people off.
because they don't want to hear the truth a lot of times, that it
Right.
really doesn't matter. And then perception that is reality. And I think that's one of the cool things about his channel, too, is that he doesn't mind saying, going against the grain of what everybody else in the, status quo might be.
Right. Absolutely. So shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to everybody in the new media family. Hashtag new media, guys. New media is not just about sports. New media also represents life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You know what I mean? Shout out to DJ. DJ is always, encouraging people to be at peace. And he'll do his live streams on the island with the view, trying to get people to just try to be at peace, and not fighting against each other so much, bringing each other down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Hashtag new media and hashtag hash browns too.
Hashtag hash browns. I gotta write that one down.
I only said that because you got hash browns on my brain. So
Oh, I've been hash browning it
Lord,
out. I have been hash browning it out. I mean, I
there'd
don't
be
know what the hell's going on. It's you. It's you with all these damn potatoes that you're eating. I will sit there and I will get like 3 or 4 hash browns from McDonald's. Like I was at the beach today and I was, I pulled out like 2 hash browns, right? And then I pulled out a third. And I was like, fuck it. I had like 5 of them joints, right? And I'm like, I pulled them out and
you had
started
like
eating
the
them. I'm
never
like, I don't
ending
care
bag of
who's
hash
looking at me.
browns.
I'm eating my hash browns. If
How
you're
many
looking
did
at
you
me,
order?
I ordered 6 and I ate the shit out of them. They're little.
The other day when you told me to order 6, you came in there and you were like, "Don't ever order me 6 hash browns again." So
Yeah,
you
man,
did it.
because I'm like, this is too much. I was telling myself, it's too much. It's too much starch. You don't need to be eating all of them damn potatoes. You know what I
Carbs are
mean?
not bad. Carbs are your friend.
Depends on the carb, though. I work
Carburetor.
out though. That's different. It's not like I'm sitting around being a couch potato. Okay, now that we're talking about potatoes, but I am a person who works out, so I can afford to eat a little bit of that sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's the
I don't even
pizza.
work out, and I eat too many
The
carbs.
pizza is not something I want to do that. Yeah, but you weigh like a buck 05, Jen.
Even with those carbs, so it proves carbs are not the enemy.
You set that really good foundation as a vegan, and now you like burn fat like instantly. Macrina's laughing at us. She said, but are they not small? Yeah, that's my point, Macrina. They are extreme. They're small. They're like a flat potato.
Okay,
You know?
hasn't McDonald's food gotten smaller over time? It's not just us. I remember back when I was eating meat before I went vegan. I swear those cheeseburgers got smaller too.
Yeah, they did. They did.
When
We
they
haven't
got
eaten
that
burgers in
dollar
a while, but
menu, they went down. Like they put in like,
they
okay, these
got
are gonna be
dollar
the size of a
size too,
dime.
didn't they? They upsized the price and downsized the food.
Right. Everything was supersized except the
It's like, wait a
food.
minute. I thought it was $1. Why is it $1.29? Those 29 cents add up, man.
We
You
have
get four or
stores
five
here,
things,
right?
huh?
Oh, I was saying it
What
reminds
happened?
me of those stores where you see it says $5.99 real big and then it's like an up.
Right. $5.99 and up. $5.99 and over.
So Lamelo's birthday was this week?
It's today.
Oh, today. You are right on.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Markrina Daniels says she doesn't eat fast foods like that. She prefers to cook. That's definitely a healthier alternative. We don't eat fast food either. And really this hash brown thing has just been a thing just lately because Jen adds potatoes into her meal at night. She bakes a couple of potatoes every night along with the vegetables she eats, and she usually makes me this like ginormous salad, and I normally eat that. So the majority of our time is spent, making, or Jen, because I mean, I went in there and I sliced up some potatoes the other day and sliced my thumb along with it. I gotta watch it with this eyesight thing I got going on. So, but that is probably the biggest thing we eat, Jen, as far as carbs is potatoes.
Yeah, and sweet potatoes are really good for you, and they actually fill me up too. I've just been on like a regular. I eat both actually. Like I've been taking the potatoes, and I'll bake them, and then I'll like mash them with the skins on them, and put like this is so weird, but I use vanilla almond milk to make mashed potatoes. I know it sounds crazy, but try it.
Nah, it
It is
doesn't.
really
Not
good.
anymore. A lot of people drink almond milk now. I do. I don't drink regular milk. The only thing that I eat that is not vegan is pizza. That's my only vice left over. Everything else I have legit crossed over. I drink almond milk. I eat country clock plant based butter. I can't believe it's not butter has a vegan butter. We've eaten
Hellman's
the diet
vegan
cheese
mayo is
too.
good too.
Hellman's, guys. Hellman's makes vegan mayo that tastes just like regular mayonnaise.
And
We
man,
are giving you some good shit here. Dairy is killing people. Okay, there are so many people who have allergies and things going on with their bodies that is related to them eating dairy that and they actually have no idea about it. Try taking dairy out of your diet and just for a week or two and see what a difference that makes for you.
then you're gonna go and you're gonna see somebody like a guy next to you drinking milk, and you'll be like, "How dare you do that?"
Hey, look, I found a vegan
Sorry.
pizza, but it just they haven't figured out a way. And if anybody knows anybody that has a good vegan pizza that's in the Ocean City, Maryland area, let me know. Because I have been looking for a good vegan pizza. I need to stop eating pizza, period, for a minute. But, it's not like I eat it every day. But a good vegan pizza would be greatly appreciated.
I think that's one of the reasons I've been able to like transition and stay like that so easily, because not only did I just go straight in the veggies and get into like the whole foods, but I also found some good stuff. Like I was just really big already. Like I didn't really eat a lot of meat, but I loved, when I found that Hellman's vegan mayo, I was like, I really loved mayo on my sandwiches, like tomato sandwiches, and it was kind of killing me not having it. When I found that tasted the same, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can still have those sandwiches. And when I found almond milk, I'm like, okay, I can have that in cereal and recipes. We found the vegan butter. It's the cheese that I found, but I don't know how to throw a pizza crust around and like make that, like that pizza they make at the pizza shops. And I'm like, if you could find that, I feel like that would be all, that would be the end of, what you would need.
Yeah. Macrina said people in America eat a lot of fast food. That is true. And then you also said, I love Lamelo, but all the best to him. Stay focused at all times. Okay. I'm glad you said that, Macrina, because I don't know, man. And if we got some LaMelo Ball fans in the house, because I'm definitely a Meloholic. But that interview in GQ, shout out to Ball Facts. I clicked the link and I went on ahead and I read the entire interview and I listened to it. And then I went and I saw the where he answered some questions online. it was actually me. He actually went on there, and I actually filmed a reaction to that. That I have to go ahead and edit and put out one day. But I don't know, man. What is happening with Lamelo? Is he staying our humble you know what I mean, dog that we know and love, or is it getting to his head, guys? What's happening? Because when I looked at that interview, you know, I don't know, man. The way he's kind of coming off is almost like he's kind of losing track of that grounding a little bit. And it bothered me when I read that James Borrego said that he is working with Lamelo on tightening up some of his bad habits that he's gotten into, like coming late. I'm assuming to practices and things like that. When he mentioned that he skips weight sessions, um, and stuff like that. And he doesn't go by his playbook, and he doesn't get his plays down. And I'm thinking, oh man, Lamelo, come on, man, keep that work out.
But
Keep
you know
that
what I'm
work
gonna
out.
say? The
What?
reason he's so good is because he has his own mind. Like if you look at some of the most like talented people, unfortunately, they're also not the most regimented.
That's
Like
true.
I'm hoping it's
That's
not
true.
just like getting cocky or going to his head, but it almost is like reminds me of, remember we were watching the show with them too, the ball in the family, or is that what it was called on Facebook? The first thing we
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah.
Remember when he would stay up all night and play video games, and his dad got on him about that, but he would make it and he would still like go to practice and he would get up and like drag himself on to practice. I feel like that
Yeah.
might not even be something new. It just might be him like coming into his own, and he's not quite where Lonzo is, like regimented. But sometimes even if you do all the right things, he's like that kid that didn't have to study but still gets all A's.
Yeah. I actually I actually had somebody get really pissed at me in high school once because I didn't study, and I came in and like aced the test like that. I was
See?
kind of like that. I did that. I had look. I used to have. I mean, literally every inch of my wall was covered with posters of my favorite stars, and my mom knew that taking that stuff down would, that would, that would screw my world up at the time. And because that was my little world I went to. And, I was playing around in school, got some D's and some E's, maybe even flunked out of a couple of classes. And she wanted me to maintain A's and B's. And she made me take all that shit down. Don't you know the next report card was all A's and B's. Didn't even ramp up. Okay. I'm
Look,
like,
I
all right,
saw
shit.
you put words in Casey Kasem's mouth this morning, like with your knowledge of like this girl with celebrities. Well, you saw her with the Kevin Bacon thing, but like music. I mean, this was you. You remember Casey Kasem from way back in the day? Well, they have like this little show they were
America's
playing,
top 40.
and he was like counting down from number whatever, and he's like in the top 4 artists, and she like rattles them off, and it's from like 19 it was like 1979 or something. I'm like, how do you know this stuff?
It's a curse and a blessing. Nah, but I don't know, man. I just retain stuff like that. But it's also what you're interested in. It has a lot to do with what you're interested in. Things can move you that you're interested in and you want to remember. But if you have no interest in it, you know what I mean? It like goes to shit.
What's everybody else's take on that video of LaMelo or that interview?
I don't think there is anybody else unless they're listening and not coming in. But Markrina, that's why I think you might have said, you know, stay focused, because I was thinking that same thing. I don't want him to lose that laser focus and think, oh, I got this thing in the bag. I can kind of do what I want and lay off a little bit and, go party and go hang out with these Instagram models and still, because young bro is in for a rude ass awakening. Life don't work like that. You got to put that grind in, and nobody's saying that Lamelo doesn't put in the time and the work, because we've seen his work ethic. We've seen what he's done, because it's gotten him this far. But it is very, younger people are very influential, and he's around other people his age that, some of them maybe like to party, you know what I mean, and do other things, and I just don't want him falling into that trap, you know what I mean. LeVar warned him about the female trap, and then there's all kinds of other traps out there, and I just hope he steers clear of that stuff and remains true to the sport, and goes on to do great things, get a championship, get that MVP, that all-star that we all know he's going to get. I would love to see him do that. But if he veers off and starts going down these different rabbit holes, it's not going to happen. He I mean, if you listen at some of his speech patterns, he's cocky, but he's confident cocky. He's not asshole cocky. There's a difference. You know what I mean? Because you can always tell that he always comes right back down to, well, what I actually meant by that was this, and it's something that's very down to earth, so he's a
Sometimes
good
like
kid.
the
I
best
just,
experience is watching your family go through it, and hopefully he sees just what a little bit of goofing off a little bit did for his poor brother that's just now getting a chance to show himself. Being
well, I
jello.
don't, I don't know that he was goofing off. I think he just got blackballed, really. I don't think he got a fair shake.
No, I mean because of what happened like in overseas. You know what I mean? It
Oh,
felt like
yeah, the China thing.
it
Yeah.
was just something really innocent that he was just, like not innocent, obviously, what he did, but you know what I'm saying. It was something that just
You know
happened.
what? It's not something that other teenagers haven't done yet. You
Right.
know what I mean? I shoplifted. I did it once or twice as a joke. You know what I'm saying? Did I have to? No. But you're with groups of friends and they challenge each other. You go to the mall and you do stupid shit. You know what I mean? We were all teenagers. And Jello, think about it. He was just going into college. He was just coming off of that whole high school thing. He was a kid. Should he pay forever for that? Hell no. He made a mistake. LeVar said, it's like, listen, you went down a different path, son. That's why you didn't get in the way the other two did. You chose to do something different, But even though he chose to do something different, he is not different in the way that he is extremely talented at the game of basketball. And I don't think that it was fair to make him pay an endless sentence, for something stupid. And I really don't think, it was all about the sunglasses that he stole. I think it was all about the, hey, we're going to keep this from happening with these Ball brothers. You know what I mean? Up, there's one.
Yeah.
He did something
Good
wrong. Now we can
excuse
jump
to
all
do.
over that.
Yep.
Right. To not make LeVar's, vision come to fruition, I like to say. He doesn't like for people to call it dreaming, because that interview, Flight, shout out to Flight Sports, he said, no, I'm not dreaming, you know what I'm saying, it's, my eyes are wide open. I think I had a video that I did call LeVar's dream. I was like, oh shit, oh well. So I named it wrong, don't sue me.
I think the difference between like basically it can be a dream, but he's putting in the right what is it, like the right
He's
action to
instilling the
make it
right
happen.
attitude, yes, he instilled the right attitude from Jump Street. I mean, as soon as they came out of the womb, man, he was on it, you know.
That's
And you
why they
gotta you
all
gotta
have that
applaud
work
that.
ethic. Even if
Yes,
they're good, like Jello has that work ethic, Lamelo has the work ethic, like Lonzo, they all
Lonzo.
have that. It's in there. You know what I mean? It's just that they're kids and they're growing up just like LeVar was at one point. LeVar wasn't always LeVar, you know what I mean? He was a kid too, so he knows where they are, but he's patient with it and knows that if he put the right shit in there, you know, it's gonna eventually.
You know the wild part? We say LeVar was a kid, but I truly believe that he manifested this from teenage years. Who's to say that he didn't wake up one day and say, "Hey, man, you know what? I mean, I know I'm going places, but when he realized that his career, that he was athletic, he probably started planning way back when. I'm gonna get me an athletic woman, and we're gonna have some athletic children. And if I don't blow up, they'll blow up because I'm gonna make sure of it. But somebody's gonna blow up." And he made that shit happen.
Yes, he did. I wonder if it went back that far, but I definitely know he's already said it went back to when he like was selecting Tina, but I'm sure they had to have some kind of connection.
Right.
Lamar's over there interviewing women to, all right, you're the right height, come on in.
Macrina said, "I don't, he was cocky, but other things distract you." Right. He will soon develop in his manhood because he's a jolly person. Yes, definitely. And you can't judge a person who laughs at everything. I laugh at everything so people can't see you personally. Right. Can't take things personally. Right. I totally get that. I definitely get that. And I love the way that he basically lights up a locker room, they say. You can hear Lamelo before you see him. You hear a lot of people saying that. And those of us that have watched Ball in the Family and have heard him on interviews and things, well, not necessarily interviews, but heard his boisterousness, you can just almost hear what he sounds like coming around a hallway, screaming or laughing or making a joke. And it's just, I'm sure it's infectious to be around.
I bet even when LeVar is like a little bit irritated with him, he's got to laugh sometimes. He reminds me of
Oh,
one of
he
those.
probably did off camera. He probably cracked up. Like that one time when Lamelo smacked the shit out of that kid overseas that hit him, and LeVar on camera, LeVar got in his ass, but off camera, LeVar was like, "That's right, man. You don't let nobody put their hands on you." He was like, he did what he was trained to do. You don't let nobody put their hands on you. But he had to make it look good for the Facebook cameras. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's very funny that you mentioned Jello too, because Jello, and I was talking earlier about living in the moment. Jello definitely took advantage of the moment that he had. I mean, when you stop and think about it, he could have just went to the Drew League, took the easy road, went over there, done some good things. He probably would have stood out, and he damn sure would have got way more play than what he got in the summer league. He would have got a lot more time on the court, no doubt, start to finish, no doubt. But the fact that he was on an NBA stage, an NBA platform, the NBA period, he had to take full advantage of that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't get chances like that often, and when they invite you to come in there and do your thing because they're seeing good stuff, you got to jump on that. So he definitely seized the moment.
It's like taking advantage of, if you want to, like, it reminds me of somebody who's in like a freshman and they get moved up to varsity, or they're, you know what I mean? And they're like, okay, I'm going to get less playing time, but obviously I want to be on this next level instead of just being the star on the freshman team. You know, like he could have,
That happened to
like,
you, didn't it? Didn't you say in high school when you played basketball, you were like a freshman or a sophomore, they put you on varsity?
yeah, like I was a freshman and I was like loving it because I got a lot of playing time. I was like, oh, you can be captain of the team. And then I was like, the next year they're like, okay, you're getting moved up to varsity. And at first I was excited. And then it was like, holy cow, what did I get myself into? I barely got any playing time, but it was still like cool to be on that team. And the next year I was able to, you know, prove myself and come on. It reminded me of how they treated Lamelo when he first came on. Like, oh, you're not just going to walk in here and get playing time, even though he's already proven himself time and time again. But they made him prove himself on that team, basically. Can he do it in this level? Which
Yeah,
is
that's like
pretty different. No, nowhere near the NBA. I was in a little small school that sucked anyway, but
Markrina said she likes his play, but yeah, they people criticize him. Yeah, that's, it's like he can do no right. you know I mean, that very first night, and I have to say that first night they gave him playing time and he took full advantage of it. But after that, it's almost like his teammates kind of hated on him a little bit because they weren't passing him the ball, that plays weren't drawn up for him, and it just, he wasn't seeing as much success. But in actuality, he was succeeding. For the playing time that he got, he accomplished a lot. He accomplished a lot in the little bit of time that he was actually on the court. I'll be honest with you. I think the NBA, we talk about media manipulation. They knew what they were doing. They were spoon feeding us jello. Okay? They did that to keep people watching that damn television. Nobody wanted to leave the television because they didn't want to miss jello coming back on the court. So they sprinkled him throughout the game to keep people's interest. It's like almost like a reverse exploitation, but yet and still during the commercials, they had interviews with Jello. I'm like, ain't this some bullshit? You're barely playing him. You have announcers saying that, hey, everybody's here for Jello. This guy's got 2.5 million Instagram followers. Why aren't you putting him on the court then? If they're there to see him, why aren't you putting him on the court? And then they have him at halftime giving an interview or some shit. I'm like, come on, man. Don't play games with me like that. You know what I mean? We want to see him play for more than 10 minutes at a time.
that's
You
like when you're
know?
watching your favorite show or like a reality show, let's just say, and they keep showing that preview of what's coming up, and then it's on the whole damn next episode. You know,
It's on the
like
whole, they hype you with the ad, with the ad promo. And I know a little something about ad promos, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they're doing.
I wonder if they've sold
Yeah,
more
they made
Jello.
money on him. Huh?
I wonder if they've sold more of the food Jello since he's been out.
You're so crazy.
He should do like he should have like a commercial. Like they should give him a deal.
You called him
World's latest
Markrina.
seller.
They made money on him. He was a cash cow. They used that boy to make money. You know what I mean? Which, hey, it is what it is, but let him get his playing time too. He needed that time to show what he's capable of so that he can get on an NBA roster. You know, I mean, if you think about it, the more time he had to show what he could do on the court, if he gets on an NBA team and people see a lot more of him, that's even more money for the NBA. You know, people are going to be tuning in. I hope somebody picks him up. If the Charlotte Hornets don't, maybe another team will, or he'll go to the G League. You know what I mean? But in any event, I'm pretty sure that he made enough of an impact that it's not going to go to waste. I don't think Jello will be sitting around another 2 years. He's got way too much talent and he scored way too many buckets for anybody to let him sit around for another 2 years without snatching him up and saying, "Hey, let me work with you here. Let me see what we can do to develop that gift that you have." Because obviously you were not left without talent. We see what your other two brothers can do. We've now seen you on an NBA court and you clearly have talent. Somebody's going to take full advantage of that if they're smart. Shout out to Aunt Learn. What's up, Aunt Learn? How you, darling? Yeah, I definitely think that what he did definitely turned some heads. He did what he set out to do, and as much as they wanted to try to keep the ball out of his hands, there was a couple of times where he made something happen for himself, and I was so proud of him for that. He took matters into his own hands and made things happen defensively, and got himself a couple buckets that technically he wasn't supposed to get, like when he got his own rebound that one time, or he did it like twice and put it back in. And I'm like, that's right, Jello. Show him that you have more skills than just standing in the corner waiting for somebody to give you the ball. Show him that you know how to go after the ball. And see, if he had more time on the court, we would have seen a lot more of that. Hooping is not just about standing in the corner shooting threes. And he has the potential to, get in the paint and do some damage. And he showed that. So, yeah, I was proud of that.
Reminds me of what I was saying about when Melo first started in the league earlier, in the season. It was like, I felt like, imagine what he could do if they created plays for him. And that's what I was thinking about Jello at the same way. Like he was scrambling and they were making him kind of prove it. But it didn't seem like it was like a setup, or like it seemed like he had to fight for it, which I guess ultimately is the same thing that happened with Lamelo. He proved himself.
Yeah, and the cool thing about LaMelo is, you know, he creates plays. So all they have to do is put the ball in his hands. And this is the scary part. If Jello were to somehow make the roster and LaMelo was feeding him, we would see a lot more of those 3-point shots. And the more that he does those in a game situation, he missed a couple of them. He didn't hit every one, but those misses will be few and far in between. Nobody's going to hit it every day. Nobody's going to hit 10 out of 10 shots. But I tell you what, he'll hit 7 of those fuckers. He'll hit 7 of them. If he gets hot and if Melo's feeding him the ball, oh yeah, he got hot and cold because he wasn't out on the floor consistently. That's why we didn't see the same thing we saw the first night. And he had to fight for everything because, first off, nobody was passing him the ball. Second off, he wasn't shooting consistently so that he could get his hands warmed up, so that he could get that hot hand going. They kept pulling him out of the game. The same thing that they were doing with LaMelo when he was being put in off the bench. Put him in, take him out. Put him in, take him out. You can't get into a consistent rhythm like that. So I'm glad LaMelo took advantage of it, and all the Ball brothers do that. They took it. Lonzo, when you stop and think about it, everybody says, well, Lonzo's not really, he doesn't have a lot of that dog in him. I've even said it. But when you stop and take a look at what did Lonzo do with his entire last season? Lonzo's not stupid. Lonzo knew that free agency was coming up, okay? All of a sudden, we saw play from Lonzo that we hadn't seen in 3 years. Lonzo was playing, he was balling out. And he knew that he had to put up something to sell in order for him to be marketable. And all of a sudden, stuff started coming out. You know what I mean?
I just thought about it. If you look at all three of those kids,
What's
can you
up?
hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got another speaker in there. If you look at what, honey?
What's all up? Three of them, they actually have all of Lamelo's or Lavar's personality within the three of them, like you said, because Lamelo has kind of got that fire in him. I do my own thing. Lonzo's kind of got that business knowledge, like I'm gonna be cool and I know what I'm supposed to do.
What's up, AB? Yeah.
And then you got Jello with the obviously the appeal to the audience.
Yep, we got AB and the hero. AB the hero in the house. What's up with you, my brother?
What's happening? What's happening?
You heard people talking about.
Yeah, I heard you talking about Jello and his summer league experience just recently, right?
Yes.
Let me see.
What you think about that?
This is it right here. I told you so a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I think he did enough. Like y'all were saying, like he did enough to where some team out there, if it's not the Hornets, which they would be a fool not to give him a shot, is going to say, you know what, man, we know for one he gonna put butts in the seats, and two, if we work with him, he's gonna have some value on the court as well. So I think he's gonna play ball somewhere next season. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you think the Hornets will pick him up?
I think that they should, right? I think right now the way
because he's already there, right?
He's already there. Even if you're not going to play him on the roster, you have a developmental team in the G League, right? Or the D, let's see, right? They call it G League now. Yeah. So you have a team there to place him on, to kind of build with him, right? In order for the Hornets to not sign him, it would be them saying like, "Yo, we know what y'all seen, but you didn't do enough. You didn't do anything." Like, for them not to sign him is like saying like, "Yo, bro, you trash."
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think they could say that confidently after praising him so much about his summer workouts, and from what we've seen on the first night, and how highly they looked at and spoke of him at different times. It makes no sense for them to at least not give him a shot on the G League level to develop. Not just like you on our G League team, but we're going to keep you in our system, work with you a bit, you learn the schemes and all that stuff, and then we'll find some space for you a little bit later.
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm thinking is going to happen, because when you stop and think about it, a lot of it also, I think, AB had to do with marketing. I really do think a lot of it had to do with marketing. They know Jello is a draw. And I think one of the reasons they played him so sparingly was because they wanted to keep people glued to that television and glued to those seats, because they didn't want anybody walking out. And they sprinkled him in just enough to let people, oh no, we're going to play him. But we're not going to play him like you guys want us to play. Well, we're going to play him. So don't leave or don't flip the channel, because you never know when he's going to be on.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I think that if they did that, that didn't play out well for me, because I'll be honest with you. I'm invested. And what I realized is, because I was there to see Jello, the games just got boring when he wasn't in. It was hard to watch when they didn't have him in for them long stretches. I at one point woke up on the couch and was like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? I missed half the game. Just so if he
It
had been playing,
did.
I would have
It
been in
lost
it.
my
Yeah.
attention when they did that.
So I don't know if it was, if that's the. I hope that they smarter than that, right? And realize that if you want people glued in, you just let him play as much as possible. I think that it is. I think that marketing long term for them, and thinking about him in the marketing long term, is a smart idea, right? But I
Yeah.
also think that it could hinder them if the rest of the league feels like you just signed this guy just as a marketing piece, right? Just as a quick money grab, as a little scam or hustle to maybe sell some extra tickets and get some extra jersey sales. I think that I think that they would not. I think that if he had not played as well as he did maybe in those summer things, I don't know if they give him the same shot. Right? I think maybe they give him a shot in the summer league, but it's not a guarantee going forward.
Yeah.
I think that if he played worse, you probably might have even seen him play more. Just because they would have been like, yo,
You think?
yeah, because
Just to validate their whole Jello sucks thing.
Exactly. We can't let you play on. We can't give you a shot on the next team because look, we let you play 40 minutes and you walked away with 10 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? However, if you know he a hooper and you was playing 40 minutes and you walk away with 50 points, now all of a sudden you got a lot more questions, a lot more people on the phone, a lot more people calling you trying to or calling him and his agent. Yo, we see you in Charlotte. What they gonna do with you? They really playing you? G League? What? We got a spot for you right now.
Right now on our roster.
Yeah.
Full
Exactly.
boat.
Contract 1 year guaranteed. And so
Honestly,
2 years. Damn near,
I feel like that's probably happening anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's probably happening anyway. Because to me, he did enough to elicit that response.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I
I
agree.
mean, 16 points in 16 minutes. Come on, man. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just not something that's done. I mean, anytime that he was on the court, he maximized to the best of his ability what he could do. You know, and he played defensively. He did the things that he needed to do. He proved that Jello ball is no fluke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I agree with you. I think that he earned the respect of all of his doubters with that summer league performance, right? I don't think that anybody who had a question on whether or not, and this is a fact because some of the biggest haters are here on YouTube. And they have changed the tune greatly. I mean, he a real player, and then they give credit to all of these erroneous circumstances and things. But I feel like, he definitely canceled all doubters. And I think when you seen a little clip with Jason Tatum, and he's like, yo, he did enough. Like most folks feel like, yo, he did enough. And I think that to his benefit, even on nights when he was not scoring at a high level, he showed that he could hold his own on the court. Exactly, yeah. And so, which is even more valuable.
I want to see more of that because we know he can shoot the threes. I want to see more of him getting scrappy.
Yeah.
What do you think about Lamelo's GQ interview?
You know what, man? I haven't the article version of it. I have not read it all. I'm waiting to. I've been meaning to do a video on it, right? And so I kind of wanted to go through it and then jump into a video. So I have not intentionally. I have not read it all, right? I've only seen the clips that people have been pulling out. His part of his like takes on school, and all of this stuff, and some of these other things, and like I watched I just posted a video earlier. I watched the video that he did where he answered all of the random questions and all of that stuff. And same thing, I waited till today to watch that video. But overall, from what I know about it, man, I appreciate it so much because I think he's maintaining himself. And I think a lot of players don't do that or get the opportunity to do that, right? Some of the stuff that he was saying, if you're not Melo, it don't work. You know what I mean? Like, it come off crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, shit! It come off crazy anyway. I was like, what, Melo? But again, it it's mellow, and
Yeah.
it works. It's who he
Mm-hmm.
is. We've seen him from a kid. What did Jello say? He's a wild dude, man. He's a wild
Mm-hmm.
dude. And
He
Mello
been.
has always been that way.
Yep.
So
And
yeah, it didn't
yeah.
surprise me.
And I think that it works for him, yeah, because we, like you said, we've seen him from we seen the video of him jumping off the back of a moving go kart. You know what I'm saying?
Jumping
Like
into the swimming pool.
off the roof, exactly. We seen him on WWE beat that. You know what I mean?
Beat that.
We know, yeah. So
Look, the jet ski. Remember
yeah,
the jet ski instance where he doused the
Yeah,
camera people?
blast them.
yeah. So it works for him, man. I think like guys like Anthony Edwards, right? Who is somebody who has shown that he has some personality as well, right?
Yeah.
But it's more of a and over time we'll learn him and get to know him. But like his first couple interviews, folks is like, who is, you know what I mean? You don't expect to hear that from him. This Mellow thing is not shocking at all. Like it would be more shocking if he came through and was super articulate and really you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so I appreciate it, man. I think he said some stuff about the stuff he said about college and going to school. I think that I think at first folks initial reaction was, man, maybe that might be problematic, but then I seen him try to clean it up on his own social medias of like, I'm not saying if you want to be a doctor don't go to school, right? Just know if you're trying to hoop, right, it's going to
Then you
behoove
don't
you to hoop.
necessarily need school.
Exactly, right. And I watched the video and I almost did a video about it where I think I seen the folks at what is it called, with Emmanuel Acho and Marcus Wiley. They had a show. The big boy used to be on it. I can't, I'm spacing on the name. It's on FS1.
Okay.
I cannot think of the name. It's gonna hit me in a second. But they did a video about his statements, right? And then they try to point out like what is wrong and how his circumstance is so unique and he can maybe take that path because his talent and ability is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think that what a lot of people don't realize is that his talent and ability is what it is walking into the NBA because he took that path, right? He would still probably be an NBA caliber player, but he wouldn't be as good as he is, right? Everybody who talked about him last season was like, yo, you are he was above, you know what I mean? Like, man,
Yeah.
he's super good. We didn't expect that. He exceeded our expectations. And I don't think that he exceeds so many expectations if he doesn't make that choice to leave high school when he did and take the route and play against the people that he played against. Now, everybody don't have the opportunity to start your own basketball league, to travel through Europe and play team after team and be coached by Charles O'Bannon, NBA player, Kibu Store, NBA player. You know what I mean? All of these guys, Jermaine Jackson traveling with you. Everybody don't have those opportunities. But I think that it's in a universal sense, if when we have what we call like child prodigies, right? A lot of times when they are 10, 12, 13, their career choice is identified and they're allowed to go all in on it, right? If you're a piano player and you know you're going to be a classical pianist at 10, you get to go all in on that,
You're
make
getting
your
prepared
money.
for Juilliard right then and there.
Exactly, yeah. And that's a prime thing. Like the prom, what, bro, you got a performance tonight, you know what I mean? And so I think that that's what he did, and it's just such a hard thing for people to grasp because it's basketball, right? And we think about how many people want to be professional basketball players and how many people want to chase that path, especially making it to the NBA.
Yeah.
But I think that there's so much opportunity in that realm where it semi makes sense, right? If you think about it through the lens of if you're chasing a basketball career, you have an opportunity to not only play in the NBA, but you also have an opportunity to coach, right? You can play NBA, you can go overseas, you can play G League, right? So there's 420 some jobs in the NBA. There's thousands of jobs to play basketball internationally. After you do that, there's thousands of more jobs to coach internet. So if you made a decision early enough to really yeah, to be a basketball savant, you could get a job. What's the coach from the Miami Heat who started his career as a video coordinator breaking down film? There's so many coaches in the NBA who are doing that. So if you really want to be involved in that game, you could do it. And if you start at 12 and you pour every day into that, you'll find a job. You know what I'm saying? But it's scary for people to do.
What's who is it? Book night that started at
Hmm.
15? 15?
Book. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, that's
I
crazy,
think him
man.
and Kai Jones started pretty late. Yeah,
I
both of
mean,
them
LaMelo and
started pretty
them,
late. Yeah,
LeVar started them at 3.
You know,
yeah.
I think what you were saying, AB, is also like the same as maybe he took a different path than a lot of other people to get where he is and why he's as good as he is because he went off the beaten
Hmm.
path a little bit, and but he had some opportunities that others might not have had. But you got the same guy who might have like went out and played with older guys on the court where he lived, let's just say, and he got his skills up that way and fought his way up the ladder the same way. It's like sometimes your experiences make you better than that just, okay, I'm going to go A, B, C, D, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's the
Hmm.
person and their experiences that they had and how they sometimes having to fight your way up and having to play with people that are better than you even or even play with people who didn't think you were good enough can make
Yep.
you who you
I
are,
think a
you know?
lot of that happened. And shout out to King C and Rap God Reloaded. I see you, my guys, in the chat. I think a lot of that happened. eBay. Did I just say eBay, AB? What the
Hmm?
hell? Did I just say eBay?
eBay. Yeah.
But no, I'll be honest. I'm tripping because you're on my channel, so I'm so glad to have you here. But I
Thank you. I'm
was
glad to be here.
I appreciate you coming on, my brother. That's awesome. I was thinking about that Lithuania situation with Lamelo. I think he did a lot. I don't. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. I really feel like he went through a little bit of a attitude adjustment there because when Lamelo went to Lithuania, he just came off of one of the best high school seasons ever seen. And he scored the 92 points and he was king shit, you know what I mean? And he goes over to Lithuania and he got these guys making fun of him and drawing pictures of him and the coach not playing him. He got a taste of what it was like to be, I guess, the average Joe who's not looked at in that light. And I don't think he liked that. And I think that
Hmm.
made him grow up a whole lot because he was like, whoa, these guys don't like me over here. What's going on? And he wasn't treated like he was treated over here in the States. And I think there's that interview, that one of one, where he said, in Lithuania, I learned to be good with myself. People's opinions are not going to affect me. I think he got his feelings hurt over in Lithuania and he toughened up. And not only that,
Hmm.
he probably improved his game just because he wanted to show those guys, you know what? I am who I think I am. And you guys
Facts.
don't know who I am, but I'm going to show you who I am. I still think to this day, he's still smacking them Lithuanians in the face with his gameplay. Oh, you thought I was somebody to make
Hmm.
fun of? How about this? Let me show you what I got Aspire. Yeah, I'm LaMelo Ball. How about I show you this? Go over to Australia, whipped ass. Uh-huh. Didn't think I was going to make the NBA. I'm in the NBA. Rookie of the year. What's up?
Which is
Hey,
an exact
Lithuania,
analogy
what's
of everything.
happening? Yeah, me, the kid you made fun of doing all this. Remember me?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I feel like he's doing. I'm so proud of him for that. But I feel
Yeah.
like that
You
was a
know,
big in his growth.
there is in that GQ like acts where he answers all the questions on the GQ video. There's
Yeah.
a portion where he says that they asked him about. I don't even remember the question, but I know that his answer included him talking about. Um, they asked him like, where would he go in college, and he's saying like, I don't know if I'll go. He talked about maybe going to USC, and he
USC,
said
yeah.
that. Yeah, he said that one of the biggest differences when you go to college here, if you're highly ranked and you have some notoriety, like they open this your team. You know what I mean? Like if you're a
Yeah.
top
I remember
five
that.
player, you come onto this team, and this your squad for the year, right? Because we know you leaving, so we're gonna let you hoop, and you're gonna Zion go to Duke. Zion, here you go. RJ Barrett at Duke, here you go. And he was saying like, when you go overseas, it ain't no, oh, your name is so cool.
Your
You
name ain't
gotta
all of
earn it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta earn it. And I the fact that he said that, just answering random questions, to me speaks on how much that stuck with him, right? And
Yeah.
to your point, how much he probably carried that with him to the day, because that's a long time. Lithuania was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, right, maybe 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
for that to be so present in his mind in that
It's a
interview, to
scar.
me,
It's a scar. It's a scar. And
yep.
it was a
It's
scar
a
that was needed
scar, but
because
a
it turned him
motivator.
into it
Hmm.
let your haters be your motivators, babe. Right?
Yep.
That's exactly what he did. I think that's part of the reason why it may be a small part, but that is a part of why he is such a beast today.
Yeah.
He got humbled over there. And it was like,
Hmm.
whoa, you know what I mean? Let me build this back up and let them know who I
Yeah.
really am. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that was awesome that he did that.
Yeah.
You
And you know
started
what? I can imagine. Oh, go
this
ahead.
off talking about that, like how these files in our minds, you know, how you started off the whole thing, and that I think will come up anytime he's in a position and he has to prove himself.
He's going to pull from that mental file. And he does that all the time now. He's been in a lot of these situations over and over again. You know what I mean? And that's where I was going down the road when you first came on, AB, with Lonzo. Lonzo, we were just talking about, I said before that, Lonzo didn't seem to have that dog. And I saw in the chat where I think Rap Guy said Lonzo is calculated just like LeBron. He actually knew what he was doing that last season because he was setting it up. He knew that if he did what he needed to do, that one of the teams that he wanted, it could have been a couple of different ones, but somebody that he was cool with going with would have came through for him. And as it turns out,
Hmm.
unfortunately, for those of us who wanted to see him on the Hornets, yes, I am one of them. Um, he went to the Bulls, but either way, it's going to work out for him. But that beast came out. He pulled it out when he needed to, just like his other two brothers.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that they're I feel like Lonzo is in such a unique situation because obviously he got that inner fight and that dog in him, right? And I
Yeah,
think that he has probably been such a like a leader or an example sometimes for, you know what I mean, even for his brothers on a lot of these teams. I think that he falls so in line with like just following the rules a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Or taking the coach's word for it just a bit too much. Where if the coach say, Lonzo, the play is you bring the ball up, you kick it off here, and he's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? No
he
matter
said
what.
that in the interview.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
he
And
said
and
that
I
in the
think
interview.
that.
No matter what the coach tells me to do, whatever the coach tells me to do, that's what I'm going to do. I don't think
Hmm.
Lamelo is quite that same way.
No. I think that you had to bench Lamelo before he bring it up. Before he bring it up, see something and then don't go with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or find a way to go get the ball outside of what you just drew. You know what I mean? Like I think he has some. He's obviously coachable, right? We've seen him like grow and develop in each stop that he's
wow.
been on, right? And he's been smart enough to what I would say like learn something at every spot to take with him. But I think that he also has, you see him when he talk, he has this understanding and this belief in his own gift, and that has been
Yeah,
reaffirmed for him so many times that like he knows if you let me do me, eventually you gonna say, you know what, just go ahead and do me.
you
And that's
right.
what I
You
think we
got
seen
it.
you right. And Zoe got that too. I just think that for some reason he just is didn't want to go there. You know what I mean? He wanted somebody to give him the shot. Give it, here
Yeah,
it is,
because
bro.
he's not that taker. He's that give to me. He's
Mm-hmm.
not that I'm going to take this. Mello is I'm going to take this. That's probably why. Now that you said that, that makes me think differently about what Borrego said in that interview. Because Borrego said, I'm trying to work with LaMelo on getting his bad habits corrected. Like missing weight sessions and coming in late and not getting into his playbook and doing plays. The reason he didn't do those plays it's probably because he was thinking his own way and decided he was going to do something else on that floor other than what you told him to do. And it probably worked out
Yeah.
anyway. And probably worked out better than what Borrego's play would have added up to be. So he took
Yeah.
matters in his own hand. I don't think Borrego likes it when he does that, but he's got to buy in now because it got him Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. And I think he got to find a balance, right? There's a healthy balance of being able to freestyle, do your own thing, and not be structured, but then also with the coach, like being able to maybe see some and call up a smart play, you know what I mean, inbound play or something to get a bucket, right? They need that, but they also, I think, realize more than anything that we are, and I say this right all the time, is that teams like the Hornets, right? They have decent players, but they don't have a team full of like perennial all-stars, superstar caliber players who, if it's 5-on-5 half court, we gonna beat y'all man to man. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't got that. They don't got those guys. They got guys who, like, in certain circumstances, you can't do what we do, and we do it so good that we're going to beat you even if you're more talented than us, right? We can run so fast. We can jump so high. We got players who think so outside of the box. We so unpredictable that you can't stop us. You know what I mean? But we play in your style good enough to where we can mitigate some of it. So I think that they're finding best of the both worlds, and I think that there's a level of experience and like that Lamelo is continually gaining that, like, is just finna open up his bag to be even bigger and bigger.
Oh, no doubt. And last year definitely added to his bag. I will definitely say that. He got a whole year of experience on an NBA court. He's been through an injury. He's been through coming off the bench. He's been through other players being injured. He's been through crazy losses. He's been through unexpected wins. He's had situations happen on the court, and things that he did on other courts, he did in the NBA court with full confidence, knowing that, hey, this worked before, so I know it's going to work now because I know what I'm doing. And he already went out on that court and proved to himself that, yeah, I can do this. He said he thought he could do it at 14. So with the years that the experience that he's gotten subsequently, he definitely walked out on that court with all the confidence that he needs. You think this year he's not going to kill it? Oh, man. And hopefully they give him the keys to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, I think so. I think they, from what I can tell on the off the season moves that they made, that they are preparing to get the keys ready. They took the car through the car wash, got it cleaned up, detailed.
Right.
They got the oil, the spark plugs changed, and they like, yo, here you go. This is yours. You can drive however you want. Exactly.
The Lambo's ready.
We
for
got you
Mr.
some
Ball.
pieces. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what you're gonna get from this next season. It's they ready to give it to him, yo. So,
I can't wait to see it. When is preseason? It's now,
not
right?
sure. The beauty, not yet. I think you got some time, right? Because this was officially like summer league, and typically there's some downtime right in between summer league and right. Because in a normal season, you'd have the draft that would be at the beginning of the summer. You get some summer league, and then the season would start maybe like September or so, right? So it's coming up.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Or like preseason and all that, camp and all that. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Well, I am looking forward to seeing him play. I really am. Oh man. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I so appreciate you coming on here, my brother.
No, I appreciate you having me, man. I got some chicken downstairs in the air fryer, and I was cooking up, and I seen you on. I was like, man, let me hop on for a little bit while my chicken cooking. So
hey,
I'm gonna
that's
go down
funny
there
you
and grab
said
that
the air
as well.
fryer. That's funny you said the air fryer. Jen was just saying the other day she's going to try an air fryer. How you like it?
No, it's a game changer.
Is it?
I just got put on, man. Yeah. And like May, my brother came to visit, and that's all he talked about was the air fryer. So I went and got one, and that's all. I damn near use it every day type of thing. So no,
Oh
I'm a
wow.
supporter. I'm a believer. Yeah.
Wow. Well, hopefully I will have you back on here. I'm going to be back doing this a lot more frequently. I just had to get through some things this past week. But yeah, I'll be back
Yeah.
on here doing some more of these, and I'll jump on your stream sometimes. I see you, throwing the link out there. I wasn't able to jump on before, but maybe
For
within the
sure.
next couple shows, I'll spin by and offer my opinion on some things. But thank you, and
Yeah.
guys,
No.
thank
For sure.
you.
Yeah. Come through.
We'll do, we'll do. I see you have
For
the
sure. I
Pope on
appreciate
there
you.
and
Yeah.
DZ.
Yeah, yeah. One of the last streams we did was crazy, and we had a decent panel on there, man. So it was good. But yeah, pull up, come through. Also, we need to link up sometime, man. I feel like I wanted to see if you want to collaborate with me on some stuff. So I got some ideas. You know what I'm saying, to utilize around the socials and kind of build the platforms and all that stuff. So
That
we'll
sounds good.
yeah.
That
All
sounds
right,
good.
for sure.
I'll talk to you on Twitter about that. I
All
think
right,
we
sounds
messaged
good.
each
Yep.
other on Twitter. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
family.
All
We gonna
right.
get
Cool.
out,
All right.
huh?
I
All right,
appreciate you.
AB.
I appreciate. Yep. Peace.
Peace, my brother. I see everybody in the chat down there. Let me see what we got happening down there. Jen dipped out. Why you dip out, Jen? All right, so let's see who we got over here. I gotta stop these YouTube's notifications from jumping up in my way. King C, all right, baby. Vegan Knowledge, Rap God Reloaded. Everybody that came on, I appreciate you. Markrina Daniels, thank you so much for coming on. Shout out to AB the Hero. Hashtag New Media. Shout out to everybody in the New Media family. I appreciate you. I love you guys. And everybody have a good night. We're going to go ahead and get the everybody have a good night, and make sure you take care of each other out there. Like I started off the stream saying, whether it's, you know, you're projecting or you're anticipating or you're reflecting, try to live in the moment as much as you can. The only thing you truly have is right now, so take care of now and take care of yourself. I love you guys. Peace and blessings.